Welcome back to Blitz. I'm Brian Carter. We have three of the Lady Panthers here on Blitz right now. Courtney Busbee, senior catcher. Crystal Busbee, senior shortstop, and sophomore pitcher Laken Chambers. Girls, thank you all so much for being willing to be on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
All right, now you got to be excited. Courtney, you answer this first question. What was it like when you got the last out last night to move on to round 2 of the state tournament, the Sweet 16?
It was great. It felt really nice just to finally know that we are moving on, and it was nice to take home 2 wins on our home field on the first round. All 3 years that I have previously been in the first round of state, we've always lost out at home. So it was really great feeling to go home and know that our last game on our home field as seniors, it was a win. So.
Now the next round is going to be at Wesleyan. So Crystal, they're a hot team right now. They also had 22 runs in their 2-game sweep. Your offense, of course, is red hot right now as well. But what's the game plan for round 2?
Well, we're really just going to come out solid as normal. Try to see quality at bats, good pitches, stay in there, stay calm. As long as we just show up and do what we know how to do, I think it's going to turn out to be a high-scoring ball game as always. Our defense is always pretty solid too, so not much to worry about. Just have to come out ready to play.
Now, Laken, no pressure on you because you're the pitcher. But when you have games like last night in the first round where you heavily contribute offensively as well, but your team scores 10 runs in each of the games, it makes it a lot easier on you as well. Kind of talk about that.
Yeah, definitely it does relieve a lot of pressure when, offensively we're scoring a lot of runs. It makes me feel better, relax a little bit, just do my thing.
Now, Courtney, back to you on this, but Union County also always has high expectations in this program, and you girls have played a big part in that, just creating a winning tradition here. And then this year, you put together 28 wins, region runner-up finish in the regular season and the playoffs, or in the tournament as well. Get to the state playoffs, so a lot of pressure there. The #1 ranking. But when you look back at before the season started and what goals you put together, have you checked everything off the list yet?
Well, we certainly had a lot of team goals. We all wanted to bat over 300, which we have done. We also wanted to make it to the state playoffs, and we have. And the ultimate goal is to make it to Columbus. Yeah. And with that in mind, we're on that road. So it'll just come down to Wednesday, and I think we're going to do it. I have total confidence in our team.
I think so too. Now, Crystal, this is 6 years in a row now this program has made the state playoffs, and for the two of you, 4 straight years that you've got to experience that. A lot of people will never get to experience. What does it mean for this program to make it 6 years in a row?
It means a whole lot. I think there's been generation after generation of girls come up and play and be really great at what they do, really solid. So to come up again, we just have big shoes to fill, and every year I feel like we're trying to fill those shoes and then kind of reach past them. So filling them's a really big step, and stepping up to the plate and doing what they've already done is a really big goal. So now that we've done that, we just want to get that much further and see how far we can make it.
Now, Laken, for you, I mentioned this with Coach Stewart just moments ago, but your freshman year was phenomenal, both offensively and what you've done in the circle. 13 wins, you had a solid ERA, I believe 1.7 last year, 99 strikeouts, and it would seem like there's no way this girl can get any better, but you did. You're over 20 wins now. You have to hold a magnifying glass up to find your ERA, and you're over 100 strikeouts. Offensively, you hit 360, at least 4 homers, over 30 RBIs. How were you able to improve upon that, and how do you plan on improving from here?
Well, practice a lot. I always, at least 5 times a week. If I'm not pitching, I'm hitting. So just always working hard. And next year, I plan to work more on a screwball. Yeah. I've been having a little difficulty with that, but I'm going to work a lot in this off season on it, and hopefully next year it'll be spot on.
Crystal, the dominance that you girls showed in region play this year was just tremendous to watch. As I mentioned with Coach earlier, no team was anywhere within 60 runs of you and your output offensively, and then behind the pitching of Laken and some of the other girls, the runs allowed. There was a difference of 20 between the next closest team. How were you able to be so dominant within Region 8 AA?
Well, we've always had a really solid defense, and that's always helped us throughout every game that we've played, to be able to have confidence in not only 1 but 9 girls in every position to do their job whenever the ball's hit to them, an extremely great feeling, just to have confidence that you're going to get those 3 outs and you get the chance to come back and score without any pressure. So eliminating that chance for them to score, 5 runs, that rarely happens. So we were able to come in, no pressure, come up to bat and get the runs in that we needed to do. So.
Just the way you played all season was so awesome to watch, and I can't imagine. I said this earlier, but it still is mind-boggling to me. 16 wins in a row. I've never been a part of anything like that. So enlighten me and the viewers on what that felt like, and then did you at some point ever almost welcome that first loss to kind of regroup and get rid of that pressure?
Well, we knew when we started this season that we weren't going to have an undefeated one. But as we kept going, the ultimate goal wasn't really to have a undefeated season, but just to make it to Columbus. Mm-hmm. And as we kept winning, we finally realized, hey, we have a streak going. And then that's when the birding kind of started. Yeah. But our first loss actually came in a game that did not count. It was against a higher team than us. It was in a tournament play. And I guess it was kind of welcomed, but also kind of a disappointment because we were on such a great streak. But it was still good. I think it was a good experience for our whole team just to know what it was like to continue to win and then how to continue on after you lose. Yeah,
it's all about how you respond to that first loss. And you did great because it was 4 out of 5 losses after that and then an 8-game win streak. And again, it looks like you're peaking now at the right time. Laken, pass that on to her. With that win streak we talked about, the #1 ranking that was a byproduct of that 16-game win streak, and then right now you're ranked 3rd, and just the history of this program, there's just so much outside pressure. How do you personally deal with that? Again, you're just a sophomore, and then how does the team deal with that pressure?
Well, I really don't think we think a whole lot about pressure. Me personally, I feel it a lot. In the circle, me pitching, trying to, hold the other team from not scoring so we can, win. And, for me, I just don't think about it that much.
Courtney, 4 seniors on this team, and of course you and your sister are 2 of those. That's half of it. You have to be a tight group. I'm sure you played together many, many years. Mm-hmm. Talk about the chemistry that exists between you 4 and then also as a team.
Well, I know I have one sister on the team, but this year it really just feels like we're all a big family. I could go to them for anything, even outside of softball, and just knowing that they have my back on and off the field is really comforting. 1 through 9 in the lineup, even our subs, if they had to go in, I have 100% confidence they can do their job on the field and at bat. And just knowing that we have that bond and we have that trust in each other and knowing we can do it, it just builds a team confidence that allows us to play without being scared.
Yeah. Crystal, this is a fun question. This is your chance to kind of tell on some of your teammates and on your team altogether. I'm a former baseball player, so I know that in this game, baseball and softball, there's tons of superstitions. This is your time to kind of share some of those, maybe say some that you have. I know one of you or both of you I have seen at games putting a cross in the dirt. Talk about some of those superstitions you have.
Well, personally, sometimes always, I put the cross in the dirt before I go up to at bat, One, for representation of my faith. Second of all, just to let myself calm myself down, let myself know that I got this, there's power through your beliefs, I believe. So also my sister and I chest bump before every game. Have to. That's a must. Courtney also chest bumps Carly Nix. Also, the bats used to never cross, ever. It's just a thing. If you want to hit, bats don't cross. And now this year, times are a-changing, Now the bats are crossing. If they're crossed, you're going to hit good. So that's another thing. I tell on a few of my buddies. Carly Nix, when we used to play middle infield, right now she's out with an injury, but she would make sure our gloves were turned a specific way. Mine faced home plate, hers faced center field, and my hat went over top of it. And let's see, Kendra Tanner, I noticed this the other day. She never goes to the batter's box first when she's on deck. She will go over to one of her teammates for a confidence booster, to get her hands warmed up, to get her chin strap buckled on for her, just anything but going in there first thing. She makes sure she says hey to somebody else before she goes. So.
Yeah, if you don't do any of those, you don't win 28 games or something in a row, right?
I don't know.
Laken, for you, this is just a special year for Union County altogether here in the fall time. The cross-country team usually always solid. Girls like Emma Garrison that has won a state championship could potentially do that again. The football team undefeated, state ranked. That's really exciting. Looking for a region title and more. And then of course what Union County softball does year in, year out. Talk about how the community, how big of a role does the community play in being supportive of these teams, and how much does that kind of help you as a team?
For the community to support us through all of this, it feels great. Not just softball, every sport. Me personally, I've been to every football game, and all the football players, most of them come to, not all of them, but a lot of them come to our games to support us. That's great.
All right, so Crystal and Courtney, last question for both of you. What's next for you? I cannot imagine the two of you being separated, but what is your plan for after leaving here?
Well, we're really excited to continue our education in college, and even though we love playing with each other, we have to look beyond what we want. She wants to go the pre-educational route, and I want to go pre-medicine. So we know that we won't always be together in school, but hopes are that we'll get to go to college together, hopefully play some ball together in college, and just to continue to be that connection and have a great teammate with me at all times.
Crystal, what do you want to add to that?
I totally agree. I feel like, whether we're, 5 minutes apart or 500 miles apart, we're always going to be that really close connection because, we've always just been together. Playing together would be an ideal situation to play softball in college, but, if, routes take us different ways, I think we're ready to handle that as well.
That'll be hard to see there. Well, girls, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I'm really happy for you on how the season's going so far, and I know there's still a lot of work to do, and I'm hoping you make it to Columbus and further as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We still have some awesome football highlights here from Union County after this.